I just want to be legendary. Blinded by doubt, but I had the vision. Penny for thoughts, for words, and the rhythm will be my living. But the good died young, so I was worrisome. So now I'm trying to provide because of my writtens. Pops is still stressing out, hitting me with lectures, then ask me what was the message about and who you kidding. You're still trying to find out what's real and what really isn't. You gotta want something better than what you're giving. And know you got your pops if you feel like you on demand. It took me 28 summers to truly understand that man can make money, but money can't make a man. So if you say you gonna do it, I hope you really pursue it. Gotta go get it and get it like on demand. So fuck the partying and going out. Work just like you working out. If your hunger's never there, you ain't going anywhere. Cause it's like you do, then you don't. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Are you doing it? Are you doing it? I just want to be legendary. Hold my second verse is the illest. Came a long way from studio raps in the back living room. And you ain't make it happen, didn't you? I live my life like I can make it by myself, but every time I needed help, I prayed that God send me subliminals. One for every sin I made, two for every that's difficult. Praying for perfection, but no perfect individual. So I'm packing my own punch today. For my 9 to 5, I was packing my own lunch, making my own plate, and I'm coming for your spot, brother. Like I like that chain, I like that watch, brother. Like I like them shoes, I like them socks, brother. And who's to say that my album would never flop? So no partying, no going out, working it out. If my hunger's ever there, it do take me everywhere. But it's like I do and I don't. La da 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 da. La da 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 da.
It is QnCP. Sim Champions TV. It's been a long ass time. It's been like 2 seasons. CP was good.
What's going on, Quasi? What's up, CFO?
Man, I wonder if we can keep it up though. That's the question. But QnCP brought to you by Steph Curry, the cheat code. Steph Curry, the cheat code is sponsoring the entire world right now.
Took that other day though.
They were getting trolled by the Lakers. They let Kobe have a pity win, I think. But we gonna talk about. We're gonna do the division previews tonight. We have the top 50 players in the CFL list that we're gonna highlight. The top 10 in the CFL tonight on the show. Post an article about it tomorrow. Rook's rank coming out tonight or tomorrow. It's live, man. Peanut live in the 215. We're gonna start with the AFC East. Or what?
I think that's the most interesting division.
You think the AFC East is the most interesting division?
No Brady?
He didn't have Brady last year anyway. Let's hit up this AFC East with our predictions, our combined thoughts.
Thoughts or thoughts?
And there you go. We still got the Patriots up there at 11-5, but I would say that the 11-5 Patriots pick is not a very confident pick with the way that things have been looking in the preseason for them. Their lack of like a big time receiver. I mean, those receivers are decent, but the lack of a big time receiver and Garoppolo's struggles and the offensive line struggles are becoming real evident. Losing Salter hurt. Or no, Vollmer, I mean, not Salter. They're like super weak from left guard over, as far as I'm concerned. One of the ugliest O-lines in the league right now. So the Dolphins could be on the come up here and catch them this year finally. They've been putting the press on, but they haven't gotten over the hump and beaten the Pats. So I don't know. That's not a very confident 11-5.
Yeah, it's not confident at all. I mean, we've been watching Pats fans struggle. He's been struggling these preseason games. And I think this is the year where he finally lose that grapple hold on that division. I think the Bills actually are the team that comes up. I think they win 10 games. And if they split or even sweep the Patriots, I think they represent the AFC with East. Excuse me. Dolphins and the Jets, nah,
Dolphins and the Jets
nah.
are dumpster fires right now. The Dolphins roster is actually not that terrible now. I was looking at it earlier. The Jets, though, I mean, the Jets went cornerback with the first pick in the draft, and they have no offensive line outside of Hunter Fredge, who they drafted last year, moving over to left tackle when DeBrickashaw left. Mangold retired on him. Earl Watford came in. He's okay guard. And they have no right. They basically have no center, right guard, or right tackle. They went corner with the first pick in the draft, which was not really necessary. I mean, Revis retiring hurt. They brought in a bunch of old heads that can't run anymore. I don't know, man. Some dumpster fires.
Yeah, but the thing is, with with the division pretty much up for grabs, there's not that many really really good quarterbacks. So I don't know why they felt the reason to take a corner in this situation. Like you said, they have literally no offensive line help. So bad decisions for a bad team. That's why they get the meh.
Meh. All right, let's move on to a more interesting division, the AFC North, which could see the one. It's sad because it's like it could be the two best teams in the AFC this year, possibly in the same division. The Ravens we got at 6-10, and the Bengals at 4-12. I think the Ravens could improve on that number, and the Browns and the Steelers could both hover around 10-6 too, very well. But the Bengals, another team, they went cornerback with the second overall pick when they already had Darqueze Dennard and a rookie that got drafted last year, I think, that are both very good. They basically drafted a number 2 or 3 corner with the second pick of the draft, and they have no left tackle. Again, they passed up on the stud that went to the Redskins. They had no left tackle, no center, and no right tackle. Well, actually, I think Andre Smith's still good. But yeah, they needed to protect the blind side of the quarterback, who they did not have yet at that second pick in the draft too. I don't like 2 cornerbacks going in the top 2 picks when you have no O-line, but that's just me.
Nah, it's kind of strange to say the least. But speaking of this division, obviously they're really really top heavy. The Browns and Steelers are the best 2 teams. I don't really take the same stance that you do with the Ravens. I don't think they're going to be too much different than what they've been. 6-7 win team, 8 if they really get hot. Bengals, same situation as the Jets and the Dolphins. So it's essentially the Browns and the Steelers division to lose, and depending upon those 2 matchups, you could see 1 or 2 seeds in the AFC going to the playoffs.
Soma Scott, though, who has been a better draft pick than Soma Scott? Like, this dude has. This has got to be with confidence. I'm looking at the roster. It's not the depth chart, though. He's got 89 man, 93 zone, 90 press with 94 speed, and he's 6'2". That shit is ridiculous. That dude's been everywhere when I've played against the Ravens too, jumping off of his zones and shit to pick the ball off. But all right, enough of that. Let's get into an actually interesting division, top to bottom, in the AFC South.
This is a good division.
I put the Colts at 11-5. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what CV can do. You've got him last at 7-9. It'll be interesting to see what he can do. Can he pass the football? Is like the key. That team is pretty damn solid on defense, especially adding Mack opposite of Fowler. And the cheese will be real using those 2 defensive ends. The linebackers can all cover, so that won't be an issue with him using the D-line. But then Colts, Texans, and Titans, I think you could shuffle them anywhere with those records at the top 3 spots. It's the most up for grabs division, maybe outside of the NFC West, that we have in the league this year.
I don't even think that NFC West is a division. I mean, the AFC West division. What division did you just say? The NFC West?
NFC West.
Oh yeah. All right, never mind. I thought you said the AFC West. But yo, I think the Jaguars is actually the second best team in this division. I think CV is so underrated. He's like one of the better games you could get. And if you notice, every time he plays somebody with that 49er team, the scores is always close. He plays the Rams close. He plays the Colts close. He plays everybody close. And I think with this team that Cody built up, I think he'll give these teams a run for their money. Even though I still think Beck probably wins the division because Andrew Luck is going to go crazy like he does every year.
I think that the Titans could win the division. Best went 8-8 last year. He missed like 6 games. Granted, he won like 3 sims, I think, out of those games, 2 or 3 sims. But he started out really solid. I think he beat Morgan at the beginning of the year when Morgan had his hot start, undefeated start. The problem there on that team again is the right tackle spot is kind of weak. He did shore up. Didn't he draft a cornerback? Yeah, he drafted that speed cheese cornerback, Nate Meyer, right? Yeah. I mean, his team's really, really solid now after the draft. It's just a matter of Mariota staying healthy and not letting him take those hits. I think he's hurt right now. I don't know if he's back for the first week of the season or if he's going to be out for a game or two. But either way, team's loaded. Skill positions are loaded. It's a matter of Mariota staying upright and the defense.
I like Best, but the times I've watched him play and stream, he's looked good. But then I looked at his schedule from last year. He's took some bad losses, like 45-7 losses. I know he got spanked by the Colts last year. So, I don't know. Can't be out here getting spanked.
Last division in the AFC. AFC West loaded with 3 new users. VGP sticking around in the AFC West with the Chargers, and again we have him penciled in for his 4th straight, 8-8 season. That's all contingent though on this new Raiders owner. We have him at 9-7 based off the roster, and I think he's a pretty decent player. But right now, you've got rookies coming over from Seattle to the Broncos, sitting at the top of the division. I think VGP does pose a threat though. If he continues to improve like he has over these 3 seasons since last Madden and stops throwing so many picks, like 40 damn picks a season. And then we've got the Chiefs, who it's more of a question mark. The roster is pretty good, but it's more of a question mark of his ability. So that's more of a wait and see if he can perform and match the criteria needed to.
Yeah, I think this division will be close because it's going to be interesting. First things first, it's going to be interesting to see rookies play without a scrambling quarterback. Not to say that he was relying on Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson is a great crutch to have. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays with Osweiler. The Raiders, who knows? Not really familiar with this guy, but that team is loaded, so we'll see. VGP, the MVP, 8-8. I think this is the year where he can make a difference and go 10-6, depending upon that matchup with rookies. If he gives rookies the rage and play beside himself, he can still a win or 2. And the Chiefs, like you said, we'll see what happens. You got to let his play speak for himself. Nobody's familiar with him yet, so we'll see what happens.
Yo, I'm looking at the Chiefs roster because I was wondering about their O-line. They got this Charleston Dobbins dude into his 2nd year, in his 3rd year. I think dude drafted him 1st year. He's a left tackle with 88 pass block, 90 run block, so that's good. I didn't think he had that over there.
Yeah.
Their O-line is loaded. Ramon Foster hasn't died yet. Clayton Beatty is okay. Another draft. The whole O-line is like drafted Madden players, other than Eric
And on
Fisher.
the low, Jamal Charles in the top 6 and rushing last year. On the low,
he's still good. He still has his speed, unlike Madden Pass when he had 79 speed after 1 season. He still has 90 speed out there. And they did low key nice move. Picked up Andre Ellington in free agency. I can't believe that he was out there past waivers. And then Thomas Rawls also. Did you? I noticed you picked up Sharkandrick West. That's the boy
yes.
right there, man.
Yes,
I was sleeping
did.
on him. I tried to pick him up twice in free agency. Yeah, the Chiefs are nice. The roster's still nice. All right, let's switch gears and let's do the bottom 5. We've got CP put into work. Did the top 50 players in the CFL going into the season. We'll post a article tomorrow on that, a detailed article breaking it all down. But right now, we have the bottom 5, numbers 6 through 10 of that list, because that's all I had time for to prepare for today. So I'll go ahead and throw up 6 through 10 all at once, and we'll talk about these cats. And there you have at number 10, Kevin White from the Chicago Bears, wide receiver extraordinaire, really.
Superhero.
Throw some numbers. What were some numbers last year for this dude?
He had 93 receptions, 1,500 yards, well, almost 1,600 yards, and 15 touchdowns, and pretty much the reason why Alshon Jeffrey is not there anymore.
Yep. That 94 speed with that 6'3" frame, man, that is just not even fair. This dude, speaking from experience, makes the most ridiculous, spectacular catches I've ever seen. And it kind of makes me question how the ratings work exactly, because technically the spec catches he had on me were catches in traffic because it was in between 3 people. So is Madden pulling that 97 catch in traffic rating, or is he making these incredible plays with the damn 85 spec catch? That's what I want to know. But Kevin White is just a freak. And that's all that could be said about that. At number 9, another freak, the Rob Gronkowski. What did Gronk's been consistently the number 1 go-to. Look at him on third down target for Pats fan for 3 years. What did he do last year?
Gronk was Gronk. 101 catches, almost 1,500 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Typical Gronk. And he's like the only guy that can get these type of numbers, and nobody can seriously complain that it's cheese, because that's literally what Gronk does. He does what he does in the game.
Who led the league in receptions last year? Was it that freaking Adrian Caldwell, or did Gronk catch him?
Well, Gronk catch him. Gronk had more receptions than him, but Caldwell had more yards.
Okay. At number 8, do math. At number 8, defensive tackle Marcel Darius. I like seeing a defensive tackle in the top 10 there, man. I'm pretty sure he had 1 million sacks last year too.
Yeah, he had 17 sacks, but he also had.
And that's not Pats fan cheese with Henry Melton user in either. That's real.
Nope. Yeah, that's all him. And he also had. Not only did he have the 17 sacks, but he went 2 fumble forces, a fumble recovery, a safety, and he scored. So he was all over the place, and part of the reason why Buffalo Bills defense. If you look at that Buffalo Bills defense, they had like 6 guys that just went crazy statistically.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Madden wise, dealing with that 94 strength, 95 block shed, 95 power move, 95 tackle, 90 pursuit. Ugh. All while being 6'3", 330.
Crazy.
At number 7, Dez Bryant.
I think he's probably the top rated receiver on the list too.
Madden wise, he's probably
just on our list.
Oh yeah, he's probably got 99 everything Madden wise. Let's see. Yep, 99 catch, 99 route, 99 catch traffic, 98 spec though. Dez has been a beast. He combo with the rookie Adrian Caldwell for making up 2 1,500-yard receivers last season in the CFL, en route to the Super Bowl loss for the Cowgirls. And at number 6, the second Bear in the top 10, Jeremy Langford. Receiving back, do it all-purpose back extraordinaire. even if it is after a little bit of force feedery, he's still got the stats and the attributes and the ability to get everything done on the field. And PSA to EA, you need to make route running and catching traffic a lot more difficult to upgrade for running backs in the future. Because him and Le'Veon both have like 85 catch and route running. That shit still costs like 300 XP. I feel like a shithead upgrading it now, so I just sit on his XP. Because I can't use it for anything else.
Just give a little credit to Speak though. In his defense, even though Jeremy Langford had 83 receptions, Kevin White had 93. His tight end had a bunch. He literally throws to everybody.
Yep.
So
he had that Matt Forte career year type receiving game last season. All right, enough of the players right now. Let's hop back over to the other side of the CFL and hit up the NFC. Start out in the NFC East, which has a question mark there, which is D11 and the Cowboys. He said he's playing, but he's kind of like MIA. RIP to his auntie. RIP to Striker's auntie too. I think they both died on the same day. And actually no, it was D11's uncle. That's right.
Damn, RIP, man.
But we've got the Eagles dominated the division again. Cowboys sitting at 9-7, but that is based off of the fact that we're expecting maybe a couple of autopilot games for him this year, but he should be playing. Magnify definitely upped his game last season with the Giants. Expect another decent year. Got to keep those interceptions under control, though. They franchised Mettenberger, but I did notice that what's his face, Cody's boy, has got like 88 medium and 88 short again this year, all gassed up and whatnot. The other quarterback that he won with. And then you got the U, and that is expected. 3-13. He's a really good player and user, but I don't think he's gonna be all the way back until after the U gets eliminated in the tournament. So you know what I'm saying, I hope they win it all, but in the CFL I hope that they lose in round 1, bro.
I like it. They got a Philly kid down there playing. He's a baller.
There's not much to say about that division unless Magnify wants to make it interesting, or D11's here for 90% of his games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to gloat, but dab.
Oh yeah, Cam Newton's there.
It's gonna be a lot of dabs.
Are you using the Panthers playbook like a boss, or are you being a
nope?
Bum? Yeah,
I'm only being a bum because there's like 3 other teams using the Panthers playbook.
What?
So I don't want to be number 4. So I had
else
to bow
in the
out
league
of that.
has a reason to use that book, so that's interesting. And it's not a good passing book at all. It's made for a dude with damn 85 truck and 85 carry at quarterback. But all right, we go to the NFC North. A little bit of a shake-up. Currency is gone. Crow comes in. And this is probably going to be, once again, the most solid top to bottom, other than maybe the AFC South division that we'll have. Well, the NFC West. We got three good top to bottom divisions where it's going to be a lot of parity. It's going to be a battle down to the end. Got the Bears at 11-5, Vikings at 9-7, Lions at 8-8. And the Green Bay Packers with Crow in there now at 7-9. But I mean, any of these teams could flip-flop, in my opinion. The Bears did make major strides last year, though. After failing to make the playoffs in the first 2 seasons, it seemed like they got their roster where they wanted to be now.
Yeah, I think Speak has done a good job of separating himself from the pack. But I will say, everybody knows I'm a huge fan of UD. And I think one of these days, one of these seasons, he's going to get back to his old self, the one that we know he really is this guy, the legit, 13, 14, 15 win guy. So I think, I always hold out hope for that. So I think, him and Crow is underrated in that division as well. He could beat he could surprise a lot of people anytime he plays.
I think
And
Crow could do
just
pretty
like
well
Kenny.
this year, especially with that loaded ass team, which the Broncos were too, but he just struggled to be consistent. So we'll see if he can do that here. And for a moment of analysis for UD Vikings, the struggle on offense, go back and watch some of your game film, son, because the dropping back, he just like fades back in the pocket and back and back and back. And that's where a lot of the problem is coming from with the Vikings and throwing the football, in my opinion, from what I've seen. Like drifting back, giving up coverage sacks because he's dropped so far back in the back of the pocket and throwing off his back foot, doing those little Madden jump passes and whatnot. All right, moving on to the NFC South. I've got the Saints overtaking the Panthers, but still only sitting at 10-6. Panthers at 9-7, Tampa Bay Bucks at 6-10, and the Falcons and your boy rounding it off at 2-14. The Saints offense, in the words of whatever the hell that dude's name is on YouTube, the Saints have got the most best offense in Madden history.
One of the most best offenses. I think, offensively, I looked at that receiving core right before we started the show. It's like, it doesn't even seem fair. Megatron, Norwood, John Brown.
I'm
It's
curious
crazy.
if he had bids in, like, that's the one thing with the free agency. He probably had bids on John Brown and Calvin and hoped he'd get one, and then he got both. But now it's like, holy shit. Because
Exactly.
he's got Calvin, Brandon, Jared Norris, who was a beast for him as a rookie last year, and John Brown. And I highly doubt he's going to go 4 wide a lot because he likes to run the ball. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. It'll also be interesting to see if Calvin's one and done and retires after this season, or if he keeps on going and lives through that 2-year deal he signed.
He should go for a while. Also picked up Sam Bradford, too, so that's a big pickup.
Nobody picked that dude up in free agency or waivers other than him.
Crazy.
I don't know if the O-line's really shored up, though. Teron Armstead is a beast. Yeah, Lolito is still at guard. Sucks. Unger's solid. They did pick up Suafilo, who's nice for that athleticism that he brings. Tosses and all that will be a lot more effective because he's like a damn 70 speed guard. And then they signed Vollmer, too. They basically made the biggest Redskins-esque Philadelphia Eagles from 2010 type splash in free agency.
Yankees.
They're lacking cornerbacks, so they signed a crap load of them. It's P.J. Williams' turn to try and become a dominant corner in the CFL. 3 years into his career, he's in there maybe as the number 1 guy now. And they're trying to see what they can get out of Ladarius Webb. The Panthers, it's going to be interesting to see if Fabian Phillips can get that bad taste out of his mouth with that offensive line performance from the playoffs last year. Had him out there looking like Troy Smith against Florida in the national championship.
Had him out there looking like Randall Cunningham in the Buddy Ryan era. Just go play, Fabian.
Had him out there looking like Tom Brady against the Broncos. Or Cam Newton against the Broncos in real life. It's probably going to be a battle between those two teams, though. Prop can turn it on when he wants to, but we'll see if he actually plays all 16 games and ask us if we're proud of him or not during the course of this season. And last but not least, possibly the best division in the league.
Possibly.
NFC
Clearly it
West.
is. Clearly it's the best division.
We've got Seattle with Currency King coming over and going 12-4 and taking the division. We've got Kodiak and those upstart 49ers with possibly the best 4 corner in the league. They don't have the best corners in the league because people don't line up in dime all game, but they do have the best top-to-bottom core of corners, I would say, in the league. And we've got the defending champ Rams at 9-7, and the Cardinals in that new look offense with Alshon over there now at 5-11, which that could very much improve. They could end up having both wildcard spots coming out of this division too. That wildcard race is gonna be insane, I think, between 2 teams out of the West and 2 teams out of the North, and possibly a team out of the South. And we'll see on the East again with D11 and if Magnify can take his game to another level too. But this is gonna be a crazy, crazy division. I'm not really drinking the Kool-Aid with Currency that being on the Hawks puts him over the top though, because the Packers team was like ridiculously loaded and their O-line was a million times better. Unless the Seahawks O-line has improved over the last year, the Packers O-line was a million times better than this one.
Well, you heard what the season picks dude said. Seahawks loaded is different than Packers loaded. So we'll see.
Sure.
But that Seahawks team is loaded, man.
Sure.
That Burley kid is a beast too.
Yeah, Burley, and then the draft pick that they had in the bottom of the first, TJ Phillip. He comes in with low 80s or mid 80s on coverages too. Daryl Simon is another player. I really like him with that size that he has. Damn, he's got 89 zone, 86 man. Daryl Simon has he got 87 speed or better? Yeah, 87 speed. Yeah. Those coverage linebackers on that team, and then Bruce Irvin with he's even got like 80 zone to go along with his 90 power move or whatever it is, man. Those coverage linebackers on that team are ridiculous. And PSA to Currency King and the rest of the league playing him, there is no excuse for playing nickel defense as your base defense with this team and say you don't have coverage linebackers now.
I agree. But I still think I kind of agree with Currency winning the division. I know Cody is probably the best overall user in the division, but I think he has a lot of work to do with that roster, even though he did a little bit of it so far this season in the draft. Well, this offseason in the draft, but the other 2 teams are just head and shoulders better than that Niners team. And I think the Rams, I don't think he's that much better than Notes to, for that roster not even to make a difference at all.
All right.
And then, show some love to LBJ, man. He did a good job so far with this roster.
Hey, man, if the LBJ that came in, what the hell, he was playing against, it was against Rooks, came in there with Big Boss Dane as a rookie and threw the lob to Michael Floyd for the game winner, man. If that LBJ comes out here, man, he could put up a fight for the division or a wild card too. Y'all just need to take care of Cody over there, man. Welcome him to the West.
Yeah, I don't want to see Cody going 12-4, and I have to compete with him for a top 1 or 2 seed in the East when he's the 49ers. Please, no. I don't want to have to see Cody get booted.
Shouts out to Todd Gurley. Shouts out to Pershing Smith too. And who else was there? Oh, shouts out to the draft pick of OJ Fuller. Stole him right out from under my nose. That dude is a monster. Alright, let's go back down to the top 10 players in the CFL. As a reminder, at 10, Kevin White. 9, Rob Gronkowski. 8, Marcel Darius. 7, Dez. And 6, Jeremy Langford. Alright, young man. At number 5, we've got middle linebacker Telvin Smith. Put up ridiculous numbers every year, developed into one of the very best middle linebackers, if not the very best middle linebacker in the CFL over the years. Mainly due in part to all the user picks and ability from Kodiak, but if you go ahead and look at his attributes, the dude's got he's first of all, he's a 6'3", 88 speed middle linebacker. But to go with that, he's got 90 tackle, 90 block shed, 87 play rec, and then 83 man and zone coverage. Probably the best middle linebacker in the CFL. What did he do stats wise last year that made him in this spot?
90 tackles, 20 tackles for loss. He had a half a sack, 12 interceptions is really what put him over the top. 2 fumble forces and a touchdown. I know most of that is Cody's usering, but I played against him in the Super Bowl, as everyone knows, and I didn't because I know he's so athletic. I was kind of hesitant to make throws that I would normally make against other middle linebackers. So he's definitely one of the best players in the league.
Best says that he's not one of the top 10 players without Cody, which you could say that because how good of a user Cody is, but just look at the attributes. The attributes say that he is a top 10 player. When you got an 88 speed middle linebacker that can hit, tackle, and cover like he can with those base attributes he has. The true test will be now when he's got a user, defensive end player. See if he can perform at the same standards as a CPU controlled guy now, which I would expect he would. Kind of like KJ Wright is a monster in coverage as a CPU. Alright. At number 4, Andrew Luck. Indianapolis Colts quarterback, coming off of signing that massive contract, that max deal, if you will. I think it was before last season. He only has 95 throw power, 99 short, 99 medium, 83 deep, and along with that has that speed and athleticism that is super underrated even in real life that he has. I'm pretty sure he led the league in touchdowns like the last 2 years, but crossing 40 touchdowns. What did he have last year out there?
4,700 yards passing, 43 touchdowns to 25 picks. So that's a good ratio for him for the league, basically. And he led the league in passing. Oh, he actually led the league in passing touchdowns. So you were correct. So and Walk is going to. I mean, not Walk. Back is going to do what he does with Andrew Luck. He's renowned as one of the better passers in the league.
Yeah, he's exceeded 4,500 yards and 40 touchdowns all 3 years at the CFL thus far. The 25 picks was a little alarming, but when you throw 43 touchdowns at the same time, you can live with that.
Yeah.
The season before last, though, his year after signing the contract, he had 45 TDs and 17 picks. That was an unbelievable season that he capped off with a shithole of a performance in the playoffs against the Jaguars. At number 3, is it a Raider or nah?
Nah.
Introduce the people to the number 3 player.
Okay. Number 3 player in the CFL is the best defender in the CFL and is the best middle linebacker in the CFL. None other than Michael Tender Kendricks.
Hey, why he's listed as a middle line? Are you talking about middle linebacker, but he's listed as an outside?
Well, he's an outside linebacker now, but last year when he made these extraordinary plays and put up these numbers, he was at middle linebacker. But this year he's going outside linebacker, tight inside 4-3, and Kiko's going back to middle linebacker.
This dude is a cheat code. I'm just gonna throw up his attributes.
Throw up those
his attributes on the stream.
And I'll read out these stats for you guys. It's 134 tackles, 24 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks, 8 interceptions, 4 fumble force, a fumble recovery, 2 touchdowns, 3-time NFC Defensive Player of the Year. Come on, man.
So that'll explain how he's got better coverage than 50% of the corners in the CFL.
Come on, man.
Oh, man.
Don't throw at him. And he's on every tight end. So if you throw at your tight end, you're throwing at him.
Yeah, Michael Kendricks is the greatest CFL non-cornerback of all time with those attributes. That's ridiculous. I don't even know what to say about that.
Tell Telvin to get his weight up. And Cody.
All right, we'll bop up to 2-1. Let's see if they can live up to the expectations with Tico Brown on the sticks. At number 2, you've got Derek Carr, Oakland Raiders quarterback, most efficient quarterback in the CFL. Did he even
in the
throw
history.
double-digit picks last year?
Yeah, he did. He threw 13. But we know Derek Carr is the most prolific quarterback in the history of the world. So 4,800 yards, 70% completion percentage, 127.2 QBR, 13 picks, and that was extremely high. I think the first 2 years he was at like underneath 7. So rest in peace to Walk, man. You're a fucking legend.
Derek Carr has 96 throw power. This dude's got 85 deep accuracy, man. It's ridiculous. It's not quite attribute-wise to Luck's level, but performance-wise, he exceeded it with the limiting of the turnovers that he had. And last but not least, the touchdown maker, number 1, is Latavius Murray. The touchdown cheese. What do you have? Like 25 touchdowns all 3 seasons?
Yeah, well, 1,500 straight last year, exactly 1,500 yards, 22 touchdowns, 5.3 yards a carry, 3-time rushing champ. You know, that little bit of stuff right there. Rest in peace to Walt.
Oh, man. 2 Raiders at the top of the list. Let's see if Tico Brown, what he can do with them, though. He's a pretty solid user.
Tico Brown. Talk about winning the lottery.
And he's a Raiders fan. All right, Striker confirmed that he'll be here at about 10:30 for the opening kick game. Chiefs dude and I could kick off right now, though, low key. All right, let's do some picks for the week. Let me go to the schedule. League schedule. Season week 1. Not a lot of interesting matchups in week 1. But start out with the Texans at the Dolphins. Should be historically speaking, should be a beatdown. Texans over the Dolphins. I'll pick the Texans to win the game. I just don't know what the score will be at all.
Yeah, I think the Texans win easy. I think you get a couple Robert Jennings touchdowns, but other than that, I think it's a beatdown 27-17. Well, 27-17, not really a beatdown, but convincing win.
Chargers at Colts, that's a good game right there. It's a good week 1 barometer test for both teams. And you could say it's a must-win game for both teams if you want to look down the road and see if these guys are competing for a wild card to have that head-to-head. This is definitely a big-time game for week 1 in terms of a playoff chase. Question is, in my mind, who's going to make the multiple mistakes in turning the ball over? It's not going to be like a 1 turnover, 0 turnover type of game. I think one team's going to turn the ball over 4 times.
I agree.
I'll go with back. I'll go with the Colts winning the game, but that's not a very confident pick.
I'm actually confident in the pick of Beck, and I think VGP will be the guy to turn the ball over 3 or 4 times. Fun fact: Dejon Smith, I think his name is, Beck's corner, led the league at corner interceptions for cornerbacks last year.
Yeah,
so
10, right?
Yeah, led the league and corner, like all corners of interceptions. So I think Beck and Luck starts the season off hot. I think Beck rolls like 42-20.
Woo!
Yeah.
You think VGP is gonna lock on to Ladarius and throw 4 picks or what?
Well, see, that's kind of what everyone knows about Ladarius. He's going to get those targets. So I think Beck is keyed on to that. So I think Beck will be using him for majority of the game and force VGP to make some throws to other people. And I think that's where he'll get in trouble.
All right, Chiefs and Steelers. Baker is the unknown in the league. He played a preseason game last night. Seemed legit in terms of the play calling and playing within what we expect in the league. I have to refrain from making a pick in the game though, as the choo-choo train go by.
And it's hard for me because I've never seen this Chiefs guy play, but the team is good, and hopefully he can keep it interesting. No disrespect to him, but I have never seen you play, buddy. So I think the Steelers win in a respectable manner, 24-17.
Hey, we got Crow and his brand new Packer team taking on UD and the Vikings in Week 1. Good little divisional matchup.
That's a good game right here.
That is a good game. I'm going to go with UD because historically he has owned the Packers with his man cover corners. And I could see there being some issues here as Crow gets back into the swing of things. I think it's going to be a very close game, though, but I'm going Vikings.
This is tough. I don't know which way to go. Because you got all the receivers in Green Bay, but then you got Xavier Rhodes, who's probably like the best in-game receiver in Madden. He just makes plays in the game. But I think Crow pulls a little bit of an upset here. Actually, no, I think UD wins. I think UD wins 20-17, last second field goal. I think it comes down to a last second field goal either way. I'll say that. I say tie.
Tie. There can only
I think
ever
this
be
is a
one
close
tie,
game.
man. That's me and Morgan. Buccaneers at Panthers. Will the real baby prop stand up? And can the Panthers rebound from that terrible showing in the playoffs last year against the Bears? Against another stacked D-line in Tampa Bay.
Fabian Phillips goes nuts, and I think the pressure gets to prop all day long. I think 30-17 prop, a lot of raging in the shout box, and and I think Fabian Phillips, solidifies himself as one of the best players in the game. He better be, because Cam Newton's was giving up before him. So
we will go with the Panthers as well right here in this game. Moving on, and a really interesting matchup. Titans at Jaguars. CV back in Jacksonville. Khalil Mack in Jacksonville. Mariota, question mark, if he's going to be able to play and suit up in Week 1. If not, I would definitely take the Jaguars to win the game. But if Mariota's healthy and going, I'm taking Titans all day as they look to start out hot like they did last season.
I'm going Jaguars here. CV is underrated. I think he's the most underrated player in the league. And now he has this roster that's been, tailor-made for him. Yeah, I think you're going to see a whole bunch of I forms, strong eye runs, and if the Titans aren't ready for it, he'll catch some play action to Julius Thomas, and I think CV wins. I think you'll see some Mac user sacks, and especially if Mariota's not playing, I think CV wins easily. But if he is playing, I think CV wins a close game. But I give the edge to CV here a little bit. No disrespect to best though.
Redskins and Giants. The U said he has his box with him to the team hotel for the ACC tournament, so he should play the game. But with the layoff that he's had from playing league games, I'm going to take Magnify. The Giants had a pretty decent low-key little season over there last year. I'm going to take the Giants in this one.
This is the first can't connect AP game of the year so far. Guaranteed. He's going to try to connect in this hotel. It's not going to work. And it's either going to be a sim or the Giants are going to end up playing the CPU. 100%. What happened to my division, man?
Yeah, sad. Eagles and Cowboys. The game that we wanted to be the game tonight, but it's not happening.
Would have been a great game. We always play great games.
Yep. So we'll see what happens if the game is played by them or if CP just goes ahead and takes that free dub. Either way, I'll take the Eagles. Cam Newton hype, first game of his career outside of Carolina. I will take the Eagles either way. Broncos and 49ers. This one should have been the game tonight, but they couldn't play until tomorrow night. Rooks comes over from the Seahawks to the Broncos. Cody comes from the Jags to the Niners. They meet up in week 1 in Levi Stadium. I really want to take the Broncos, but I'm going Niners. I'm going multiple turnovers from Brock. I'm taking the Niners to win the game, going away.
Wow. The last time these two teams played, Cody threw 7 picks.
I remember that.
But not these two teams, but these
when
two
they were on their old teams. Yep, I remember that.
This team isn't that much different.
Do you remember that he threw 7 picks and it took OT to beat him?
Well, that's Cody. That's what he does. He's going to keep throwing it. He probably still threw 4 touchdowns. But I think Rookies wins this game. Wow. I don't believe this 49ers team until I see it. I like Cody. Cody's a really good player. I played against him many times. He's really good. But I think the roster is going to hinder him early on. So I think Rookies wins this game, gets a big win, and sets Cody back in the division a little bit, or in the conference a little bit.
Jets at Bears. Bears win in a blowout. Jets have no O-line. We saw what just happened last year to the Panthers. So that's really enough stated right there.
Yeah, this is the first cut it off at the end of the first quarter. It'll probably be 24-7, 24-0. I like keeper.
Okay.
But, nah.
Falcons at Ravens. Both teams kind of mediocre, trying to prove something to start the year. B. Moore has been playing consistently, and Yorbor is jumping back in, hasn't played CFL games. He's played like 1 in 2 or 3 months, so I'm taking B. Moore. I'm taking Soma Scott with some pickies, and I would taking the Ravens to get off to a 1-0 start.
Yeah, you always have to by default until Yorbor proves himself. I mean, B. Moore, he hasn't won a lot of games, but he's been consistent and he's been hovering around 500. So
Tevin Coleman is ready to be Madden 15 Trent Richardson, man.
Well, somebody has to use him or control him for that to happen.
Mm-hmm. This is our kickoff game, so I will skip that. We've got Rams at Raiders with Tico Brown in there as the new Raiders owner. Incredible roster with a good new user. And the Rams making their debut as the LA Rams. They are on the road, though, however. And I'm going to take the Rams because I have not seen enough out of the Raiders, dude, to tell me otherwise. It is still the Rams' division until proven otherwise as well. And they will show out in week 1.
I'm going to go Raiders here because I know I haven't seen this guy, but you say he was in the league very similar to ours, no switch, no left stick. And with this roster, that's all I need to hear. I'm sold. So Raiders win.
Patriots at Bills. Will there be a changing of the guard in the East? And the Bills can try and prove that there will be right away in week 1. Another good week 1 game. Patriots have been struggling like shit in the preseason, man. Been struggling like shit. I'm taking the Bills to finally get over the hump. I think he's 0-6 so far against the Patriots. Maybe he's 1-1, but I don't think so. 9-7 and 8-8 the first few years after that first season that he joined, and the struggle was real. Johnson's been making a turnaround kind of like VGP did after his Madden 15 experience.
Tyrod Taylor, T-Mobile, 30 touchdowns, 20 interceptions last year. Games like this is where dudes like Marcel Darius got to earn that top 10 in the league rating. So
yep.
I think that defense is good enough to give Pats fan problems if he focuses on Gronk. Everyone knows it's going to Gronk. It's going up to Gronk. It's going underneath the Gronk. It's going to the side of Gronk. It's going in a box to Gronk, overnight to Gronk. However Gronk wants it, he's going to get it. So you just got to be there to make the plays. And I think Johnson has learned. They play each other twice a year. I think he's picked up on some tendencies, and hopefully he implements them in this game. I think he pulls out a big win to start the season. And my pick to win the division this year, so I got to go with him in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm going Bills for sure. With the way that Pats has been looking, and even though it is a preseason, still and all, it's been a struggle out there. We've got Bengals and Browns. Monday night, first game of the Monday night doubleheader. Bengals made a little bit of a turnaround last season towards the end. Some questions about mixing up play calling that is supposedly resolved. They drafted a quarterback in the first round. They drafted a cornerback with the second pick in the draft. They did not address the left tackle position. And you're going to have probably Barkevius Mingo over there at right end matching up against Michael Orr. It could be a disaster. I'm taking Browns by 3 scores.
Yeah, Browns win easily unless, they have some catastrophic turnovers. Anything aside from like a 3-4 turnover game, I think they win walking away. I think this team's is too good.
Yeah, we've got the Lions and the Cardinals.
Now this could be 10 interceptions total.
It could be. Or Good Kenny could show up, the one that wins games and has the opponent drop picks. I don't know if that's Good Kenny or Lucky Kenny, I guess, but I could see Big Game Dane shining in this one, spoiling the opener, and the Cardinals take it.
What's the over/under on Brian Griffin's reception total in this game?
Let's talk about something, man. Drafted Brian Griffin. Was that a first-round pick last year?
I think it was the second round.
I think it was a first, but it might be a second. But either way, drafted another running back in the second round this year.
Wow.
And has Amir Abdullah on the roster. So, that was terrible. And just for that alone, we're taking Cardinals.
I take Cardinals too then. LBJ, go win your division, man. You need to get this W. Go win that division, man. People sleeping on you. They talking about everybody else in the NFC West but you. So it's your time. Word to my man Mitch, man. Show your might. Just show your what is it? What's the Ray Lewis quote?
Your mark.
Make your mark.
Walk, only way that's happened is if you're playing for him. Seahawks and Saints. It's supposed to be our kickoff game, which is supposed to start in about 30 minutes, according to what Stryker texted me. It was supposed to start in like 2 minutes, but hopefully that game happens. Otherwise, somebody else can play, or me and the Chiefs dude are down to play right now too. But Saints and Seahawks, you got the gassed up loaded defense against the gassed up loaded offense. Who wins?
Seahawks. Defense wins. Defense wins championships. And he's got to live up to that number too.
That's true. It's tough for me not to pick that firepower though in New Orleans, man. That is just ridiculous. Defensively though, they could be kind of liable to getting thrown all over. We'll see if Russell can find those pockets in the zone, and if those overrated ass receivers Curse and Baldwin can find space and get open too. But I'm gonna go with the Seahawks and make the safe pick too. Supposedly the safe pick at least. I hope it's fireworks everywhere though. I hope the game's like 42-35 or something like that.
It's impossible.
And I hope Megatron has an 80-yard touchdown.
Well, I played against this Seahawks team when rookies had them, obviously, but that secondary, when they start press manning you, especially when they play press man cover two press man, it could get. I watched them play the Giants, and the Giants have Odell, and he still literally could do nothing. It was almost sad to watch him not be able to throw to anybody. And if you have a little bit of user ability and you can patrol the middle of the field, you could blanket a team easily. And then with Averill and Michael Bennett coming off the edge, and he actually,
Right.
I think he signed somebody to Charles Johnson. I think he was with the Panthers. Signed Charles Johnson from the Panthers while out of free agency. So if he get a little bit of pressure, I know Currency's user skills aren't like top notch, but I don't think you got to be top notch when you got those corners on the outside.
The D line cheese is real. I don't got anything else to say, man. Let's have a good ass season though. Carter Corbett
Yeah.
about to be coming with those hot takes though. Shout out. Shout out to the song for bitch too. What are we doing, man? Should I play Baker right now, or should we wait a half hour for Striker to play, or what are we doing, boys?
Hey man, I think we need to get the dual stream up. You could watch the first half of your game. If it's ugly, we can get ready for Seahawks and Saints. No disrespect to the Chiefs.
True. Shout out to Rook's Rank is back. I've got it in the inbox. I gotta post it up in this new location that it will be in. Rook's Rank will be posted tonight, right after the show, and hopefully we can keep up with it this year. Hopefully we keep up with QnCP this year. I don't know. Probably do it Friday nights at Advance, like we did the first season 12.
Hey, if we want to keep up with it, man, we just need to make sure these games getting scheduled and not getting AP wins everywhere.
Yep, that's true.
Because
Currency.
it's kind of whack to talk about AP games.
Yeah. Currency, Striker had a viewing for his auntie today, man. So he texted me, said he'd be here at like 10:30. Anyways. I think I'm about to play the Chiefs, dude. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'm hyped right now. I'm ready to play some CFL football.
Rest in peace to Walt. Hey, Walt, man, just for the record, I wasn't on board. I just got to put that out there.
Alright, I'm about to advance. I hope y'all got your cuts in so we don't got no Carlos shit happening right now. Everybody ready to vulture free agency though? Let me turn injuries off for y'all homos, since nobody want to play preseason games. Injury off.
Okay, I see you with those A's all over on offense. I like that.
Advanced week. Shout out to the rosters that didn't get cut to 53 man. Let's see what we got. Let's see what happened. Let's see who's on the chopping block. The Darius Webb. Oh boy. A bunch of damn fucking Jets. And Andy Dalton. Victor Cruz.
I think he was already.
That already all happened, yeah. But all right, it's game time, man. QnCP is Audi 5000.